Now let's just know the types of connective tissue. The connective tissues are broadly of three types. They are namely the loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissue. So this is a chart, the chart that will explain more about the connective tissues well in detail. So we can find that connective tissues are mostly of three types, namely the loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissue. Now the loose connective tissue is of two types, namely areolar and adipose tissues, whereas the dense connective tissues are of two types, namely dense regular and dense irregular connective tissues. On the other hand, the specialized tissues are skeletal tissues, vascular tissues, reticular connective tissues, and pigmented connective tissue. The last one, mucoid connective tissue. This is also an example of specialized connective tissue, which is different to a great extent from the rest. Now the dense regular connective tissue can be also of two types, namely white fibrous and yellow elastic connective tissue. They can be of two types, namely cord and sheets, based on their structures. The skeletal tissues are of two types, like we all know. We have the cartilages and we have the bones. The bones can be of two types, compact bone and spongy bones, whereas the cartilages can be hyaline cartilage, fibrous cartilage, calcified cartilage. The vascular tissues, like we all know, can be blood and lymph. So this is the detailed classification of connective tissues, where we find examples also, as for example, the blood and lymph are examples, right? They are the examples of vascular tissues, whereas there are many other types of some tissues, such as the cartilages. We have hyaline cartilages, fibrous cartilages, calcified cartilages. These are the type of cartilages. So please go through this chart well in detail and make sure you remember this for answering questions.